that's why I hated baseball. And I remember like telling my parents like, "Oh, I don't want to go. I don't want to go." And they'd be like, "Oh, you have to. Come on, come on. It's baseball. Come on." And I fucking hated it, because of those kids. And same thing with soccer. I remember like in elementary school, I tried out soccer. I never scored a single goal the entire season. I had this friend like I went with at the time, and he was so fake. Like he wouldn't even talk to me. He just talked to all these soccer kids who were like super good. Like everyone on the team was super good, but me, I was a noob. I didn't know what I was doing. Like I sucked so bad at soccer. Like you guys don't know how bad I was at soccer. And I remember they needed someone for the goalie, and since I was there, like they just put me as the goalie for some reason. I don't know why, but I remember this like it was yesterday because I remember like crying like a bitch when I got home. It was like 6-0. Like we had 6 points, they had 0. And then I became the goalie, and they scored 8 points in under like a fucking minute, and everyone was screaming at me. And then the coach was some British dude. He was screaming, so he's like, "Oh, what the fuck, you fucking shit, what the fuck?" He was just like screaming and cursing. And I remember going home crying, and I was like, "Fuck this shit." And then my parents were like, "Oh no, you gotta finish soccer, you gotta, And then yeah, I never scored one goal, and everyone just like fucking shit talked me. And we're like, "You're so bad," because I was terrible, Jesus. And then, what other sports did I play? Basketball. Well, basketball, that was the one sport that I actually was kind of good at. Like, I never gave up on it, until, like, I think my last year of middle school. And that's when I started, like, because I always did have people shit talk me in basketball, but I never really cared because I actually enjoyed the fucking sport. Up until it got really bad. Like, I remember, I joined this tryout travel team in middle school, and I think the only reason I made the team is because like one of the parents who like ran that shit knew my parents, so like they were like, "Oh yeah, he's really good, let's put him in." And the coach like of the fucking thing never put me in the game. Like he never did. I was just a bench warmer, literally like a bench warmer. I just sat on the bench, and while all the other kids were like playing the game, I never like ever went in. And like I remember my mom was like pissed off. She's like, "Oh, why aren't you putting him in?" And he was like, "Oh, I don't have to," like all that shit. And I remember one day he put me in because like he didn't have enough people. He's like, "Oh fuck, I have to put him in." So he put me in, and I scored on the wrong goal. I scored on the wrong basket and gave the other team a point. And I was so fucking embarrassed after that shit. And then I never went in after that. And I remember like one day there's a candy shop next to the basketball thing, like before we had the game, and I remember I was eating candy before the game, and then this kid like he would always say like, "Oh, stop eating candy. Oh, you're wasting everything. Oh, you can't eat before you play." He was just getting all mad and shit. No one liked me on that travel team at all. They all hated me. Like they fucking hated me for some reason. I don't know why. But yeah. The basketball eventually like 7th grade, 8th grade, I played like the recreational basketball like with all the noobs, and it just was a fucking mess. Like they never passed me the ball. It was just terrible. So I was like, "You know what? Fuck high school basketball, cuz this shit was a nightmare." I didn't go into basketball for high school because I was like, "Fuck this shit." Should I have? I don't know, probably not. I wasn't like the best fucking basketball player. I wasn't the best. I was just like average, maybe a little below average, but I liked it. And that, yeah, I remember like my last year, I remember like dreading going to that's what happened to every sport. I just would dread going to the fucking like the sport, the practice and the games, and I'd be like, "Fuck." I wouldn't want to go because like how bad it was. And then yeah, I ended up having to go, and it just drained my mental health. Because I remember this one kid in 8th grade, he was like we were sitting down, it was a game, he's like, "Dude, you're fucking terrible." He's like, "You suck at defense and you can barely shoot." He's like, "No wonder no one gives you the ball." And that was like pretty much the day I quit. Like the day, it was like after that shit ended, like the whole basketball thing, I was like, "Fuck this shit. Like, why am I doing this?" I've had multiple people say that shit. And of course they say the quote, "Oh, rise above those people who talk down on you." That's such cope and stupid bullshit. Because if you suck dick at basketball, how the fuck can you rise above? Like, you're still gonna suck dick. Like, there's nothing you can really do, you know? I was always terrible. Like, I played basketball for fucking years. Like, I'd say, like, I actually don't even know how many years, but a long ass time. And if I was below average those years playing, like, what would I ever have become, you know? But, same thing with Rubik's Cubes, man. I used to be so passionate about those for some reason. I remember, like, I got it when I was 7 years old, and there's no YouTube at the time, so I couldn't look up how to solve it. So by myself, I could only solve the first two layers without any, like, help. And then I got a DVD. I remember I got a DVD, and then I finally learned how to solve it. And then I remember, like, my first day of middle school, like, a couple years later, I was solving it, and my neighbor was like, "Oh, bro, that's so cool. You gotta bring it to school, bro. Everyone's gonna think you're cool, bro." So I brought the fucking Rubik's Cube to school. I solved it outside because, like, for some reason, everyone had to wait outside before the classes started. And everyone was like, "Whoa, oh my God, whoa, you're a genius, you have such a high IQ, whoa." And if you don't know, if you can solve a Rubik's Cube, you already know that it doesn't take any thinking power. You can be a fucking moron and solve it. It takes no skill at all. You could probably learn it in a day. And then you're set for life. You can pretty much just do it whenever you want. But speed solving it is a little different. I mean, you have to learn a lot of shit for that, but it's still all muscle memory. You know, it's all muscle memory. Once you get, it's just a lot of work. But it's muscle memory. You know, you don't have to have this enormous IQ, you know, to solve a Rubik's Cube like people think. You can be a literal idiot and solve it. You know, it doesn't matter. But basically what had happened was I brought it in. I thought, like, oh, I'm the shit. And then one day randomly, like a week later, this kid brought in his and was just like solving his shit. And like everyone was watching him instead. I was like, what the fuck? And then a month later, literally everyone started bringing in like different types of Rubik's Cubes, just mogging me into oblivion. Like this kid, I remember I was sitting in science class. This kid to my left was solving a 5x5 Rubik's Cube. The one to my right was solving a 4x4. And he was like, "Oh, can you solve this?" And I was like, "I don't know. I've never solved any of that shit." And then I was trying to solve it like a normal Rubik's Cube. And he's like, "Oh, you're so stupid, bro. You need to solve the centers first. You're such an idiot, bro." And I was like, "All right." Like he just went off on me. And I was like, "How long did that shit take to?" It took him like so quick to learn that shit. The bigger cubes, like obviously are gonna take a while. Like, and they were just mogging me. Like they would bring in like 8x8s and shit. Well, I still didn't even know how to like do anything but the 3x3. And I remember I was sitting in my math class, and this kid next to me is like, "Bro, you're overrated, bro. You need to quit." He's like, "You're fucking garbage." And I was like, "All right." But I remember we had like this competition shit, and like in school, and I just got completely obliterated. And I was like, "What the fuck?" Like I literally went home and I learned all, because this kid, like he would like race me, that nerdy kid. Who brought it in a week later after me. Like everyone was like watching him and shit all the time because he was so fast. And I would like fucking race him in the shit and just get smoked. And I remember I went home and learned all the algorithms you could like fucking learn. Solve it fast, and I still wasn't fast enough. He still shit on me. You know, I was just terrible. And we had like a competition in school. I fucking did terrible. I remember I even went to like one of those like Rubik's Cube competitions when I was really young. I was probably like 12, 11, and just got I didn't even get a second round. That's how bad I did. I went in like, "Oh yeah, I'm gonna do so good. I'm gonna win like top 3 and get one of those prizes." And then I just got completely obliterated. I mean, you look at it now, there's so many people who mog you. It's insane. You might think you have a talent for something or you're good at something, but all it takes is just a quick Google search of what your talent is, and you'll just be blown away. Your jaw will drop, because there's people that are so good at what you're doing that it makes you question your existence. You know, that's why I fucking hate the internet. That's why there's no such thing as like local talents anymore, because you could just Google, like, let's say some kid brings in a Rubik's Cube and solves it like at a mediocre pace. You just look up fastest Rubik's Cube fucking solve, and then you see these kids just like going so fast, and you're like, "Oh, this kid was garbage," you know. But I've had too many failed dreams and shit. I don't even want to get into like other shit because it's just like so depressing, you know. Now I'm just here with like no passions or hobbies and shit, you know. Just a below average, completely failed normie. Imagine if I was a succeeded normie. I mean, who knows like what would have happened if I went to some prestigious school and had lots of friends and, looks maxed when I was younger. Who knows? Because I got the height for it, just the face didn't quite work out. But yeah, I might make a part two. I don't even know, but I had too many failed dreams and passions and stuff.